Alright, welcome everybody, whoever's live and watching us on our first Fusion YouTube channel. My name is Jamin, I'll be your commentator for this afternoon, and joining me for the first division today we have Carissa Klein, who's one of our ninja mums, and she'll be helping me out to get through this first format. So welcome to Fusion, folks. If you're not aware of what Fusion's about, it was actually developed by Hayden Reed, my eldest son, who's our head coach here at Mr. Ninja HQ. He's obsessed with all the different ninja leagues around the world, and he loves watching NSC in America. So while he watches those different leagues, he tries to come up with ways to challenge ninjas here. And he's developed the Fusion Ninja series to basically challenge all sorts of different development in our ninjas. So some ninjas are good at speed, some love endurance, and he's also thrown in technical. So this afternoon we're going to be having our competitors go through the technical course, and I'll just go through some of the rules and so forth of what's happening, so you're aware of it before we actually go live. So out there in the gym at the moment, they're doing the course walkthrough, going over all the different rules on the obstacles. So we'll go through all this stuff while we're waiting. So finals format. All finalists will run all three finals courses. So today they're running technical. Tomorrow morning they'll run the speed course 3 times. And then tomorrow afternoon they'll run the endurance course. So it's going to be pretty full on. Everyone's going to be pretty tired afterwards, but it's going to test everyone's skill level, and it's up to them to get maximum points. So athletes can score a maximum of 72 points across the event, 24 points per course. So today is technical, 8 obstacles and 3 points per obstacle completed. So for scoring, athlete scores from all finals courses will add together on the leaderboard. In the event of a tie, this is how he's going to work out who gets first, second and third. So athletes' best placements will be compared, their second bar best and their third. Those with the most points after the event will be crowned the champions, and they all get to have their name put on the big trophy and plaque. So we'll just click into the technical course here. So technical course rules for this afternoon. All athletes get 1 attempt at the course. Athletes are awarded 3 points for every completed obstacle. Athletes can attempt all 8 obstacles regardless of fails within the time limit. So maximum of 24 points. Time limit for all divisions today is 4 minutes. So basically you're allowed 1 fail per obstacle. If you fall off that obstacle, you miss the points and you just move on to the next one. So as long as you go under your 4 minutes, you'll get access to all 8 obstacles, and obviously the more points, the better it's going to be for you at the end of the day on that leaderboard going into day 2. So scoring is decided by points secured across the course, completion time to the buzzer. In the event of a tie, athlete's time to the final secured point will come into play, and then technical scores will add to the finals leaderboard. So today's run orders. First up, we're going to have our beginner adults division. So run orders are basically based on points. So whoever had the least amount of points will run first, and we'll go to the person with the most points, obviously running last. Now we have had a late minute scratching. Vicky Brown, our only female in this division, has woken up not feeling too well. So fingers crossed she gets well this afternoon, this evening, and can make it down tomorrow for the other 2 divisions. But we're going to see Corey Newman as our first runner on course, followed by Alex McDonald. Vicky won't be there, so we'll skip through to Joseph, and then Jasper, and then Scott. And then that'll put us through to a short break where we'll quickly change out some of the obstacles. We'll change out a commentator, and then we'll come back online and we'll watch our Elite Teams division. So you can see 9 names up there. And again, we'll run through with points-based where you start on the leaderboard. So Sunny will start first, followed by Elliot, and then Connor. And then the girls are all in the middle. Darcy, Alison, Izzy, Stevie, and then Ben and Cody coming in 8th and 9th. And then we'll have another quick break, and then we'll swap out some obstacles, and then we'll go over to our elite adults. Now we had a multiple of people that qualified for finals because it's our first season. A lot of people had plans already booked in for the dates of finals, so we didn't end up with the number of athletes that we could have. But it's our first season, and Hado's put a lot of effort into this, and he really wants to make this something that people want to come and do. So we're looking forward to actually getting into that for next year as well. So next year we're actually jumping into New South Wales, which is going to be good. So we'll come up with that calendar shortly, and we'll go through and give you guys an idea of how many courses we're going to run next year, where they're going to be located, so you can start planning if you want to get involved. But it's going to be fun to watch. A lot of our adults like to commentate their own runs. If Vicky was here, it would have been entertaining. She loves to commentate her own runs, which keeps us all entertained. But hopefully we see her back here tomorrow. So I'll just click on to the calendar for next year while we're still waiting for the walkthrough to happen outside. So 2026, Season 2. We got quite a few qualifiers, and we're actually branching down to Australian Warrior Fitness down there in New South Wales, as well as Obstacle Course Racing School in New South Wales. So we were lucky enough to have athletes from both those gyms come to one of our qualifiers, and they liked what they saw. And of course we want to offer as much variety as we can in this country with different ninja leagues. So this is the calendar for next year. So first one will be technical qualifier Feb 15 here at Mr. Ninja HQ, and then our first endurance qualifier will be here at Mr. Ninja HQ, as you can see, Saturday, April 11, and then we jump into New South Wales the week after. So we're at AWF for their very first speed qualifier on Sunday, April 19. Back to Mr. Ninja May 31st for another speed qualifier. And then in July, we duck down there to Obstacle Course Racing School. And I'm sure we'll have a good turnout down there. Those guys have a huge following of athletes at that gym. We were lucky to stop off there on our way through to NCL Finals. And they got a really good team down there, and a really good big ninja family that love to support. So hopefully we get a few of them to these events as well. Second half of the year, we jump up there to July, at the end of July, technical qualifier number 2 here for us at Mr. Ninja HQ. And then we jump into another endurance qualifier, and then another technical qualifier down at AWF in September. A final speed qualifier there in OCR school in October. And then finals next year at this point will be held here over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, November 13, 14 and 15 at this venue. But touch wood, hopefully we're in a bigger venue by this time next year. But we've got a few things we're trying to cook up to get us into a bigger gym. But if we don't get into a bigger gym, we'll obviously make it work in this facility. And those of you that have been here know we're only a small gym, but we cram a lot in. And we try to keep everything running nice and efficient and challenge our athletes. All right, so let's just shoot back to those run orders, and we'll give a bit of a speech through on, or a bit of a bio on our first couple of athletes, and we'll have a look at where we're at with how they qualified, some of their background, and then I can hear out there they're almost finished the walkthrough. So we'll get into some athlete history there. So our first runner on the course today, beginner adults, will be Corey Newman. And what facts do we have about Corey Newman there, Carissa?
All right, so Corey Newman's a bit of a legend in the ninja community. He is a dad of one of our ninjas, Ninja Kermit, who's Elliot, who'll be running later. He has a business, a ninja business, the Brisbane Ninja Frames, and they sponsor this event, which is super awesome. And he's a coach as well. He coaches over at Todd's Elite Ninjas Gym, which is a small gym just near here. Yeah, so his bio, he's been running in all 3 disciplines this year. He's done tech, speed, and endurance. Actually, take that back. He's only done tech this year, so this is his thing today is tech. He got 3 points across the year, so he's hoping to improve upon that. And probably the fun fact about him is he's got a really funny nickname. His nickname is the Dad Bod Ninja, right? Dad Bod.
There's a few of us out there with dad bods in the ninja game.
That's right. But he has a go and has a bit of fun doing it. And loves making ninja obstacles, so he's always looking at the obstacles and trying to improve them. So it'll be good fun to watch Corey have a go.
So how this works to qualify, you only had to come and qualify in a technical, a speed or an endurance to come through to finals. So not all athletes could come to all three disciplines, but to qualify for finals, you basically just had to come first in your division, and the males and females are separated, and that qualified you through to finals. So if you've only done one technical course, today's going to be great, and then coming into speed and endurance tomorrow could be the challenge. So some of our athletes have done all three of the qualifiers, and they know sort of what to expect. But if anybody's done a course that Hato designs, you sort of know there's going to be a curveball in there, and it's going to be a little bit trickier than what you're expecting. So it'll be good to see today who gets points and who doesn't get points, but it'll be entertaining, and these guys will be better ninjas because of it, and they will be pushed. But yeah, it's good to see Corey. He's only just started competing. He loves to get in here and coach the kids, and he wants to set a bit of an example as well. So he'll be our first runner, and then one of his students, Alex McDonald, will be the second runner. So Alex only did his first comp here with us to qualify, and he's only new to competing in Ninja as well. So we'll give you a little bit of a background on Alex.
Yeah, so we've got Alex McDonald, and yeah, as Jamin Mr. Ninja says, it's his. He just started competing, so that's why he's in the beginner division. He spends most of his time on sailboats, playing basketball, hanging out with mates, but he's getting right into Ninja, so it's good to see some newcomers come in and shake it up a bit. He won one of his comps this year, and he was pretty psyched to do that as as a new to the scene ninja. But yeah, most of all, he just loves getting out there, having a good go. But yeah, more to come from him. Watch this space as he continues to train and up his game.
All right, so our third runner was Vicky Brown, but we'll leave her bio hopefully for tomorrow. And then we'll jump into Joseph Davidson, will be the third runner.
Okay, we've got Joe. He's been doing ninja for a few years now. He loves competing. He says he's not that great, but let's see what happens today. When he's not ninjing, he's managing a cafe, so he's quite busy and doing a bit of coaching. He trains it just down the road. He's working hard. Always see him here, which is really great. Yeah, and he's looking forward to smash the course today.
All right, so after Joseph, our second last runner of this division will be Jasper Swalwell. Now Jasper's a teen that's been training with us here at Mr. Ninja for probably 18 months or so. He's a full-time student at school, and he just does ninja for a bit of fun. And he loves it so much, his mum and dad have actually started training here as well, in the basically the amateur class. And he's only just started competing as well, but he loves the fusion format because it's a bit of a tricky one. And he'll get challenged today with the technical course as well. So he's quite tall for his age. He's over 6 foot tall, so he's going to have to lift his legs up on a lot of these obstacles, but it'll certainly be a challenge for him as well. So we'll go through some of his info.
Yeah, so Jasper, what we know about him is he loves ninja, but he also loves playing video games. Very complementary skills here. Tech is his thing, so he's got a 100% win rate this year across the technical division. So today is his day. He's looking forward to the challenge and having a go.
All right, and then our last runner will be Scott Shikow. I always get his surname wrong when I'm at home, and I get corrected quickly. But Scotty's just come back from the World OCR Championships over in Sweden. So he's an OCR competitor first, but he's giving ninja a crack as a way to learn or get better at OCR. So Scotty will be he's got the highest points in this division, so he'll be good to watch. Another one who likes to commentate his own runs, so he'll be entertaining. So we'll go through some of his stats as well.
Yeah, so he looks like he's a bit up and coming, being on the world stage, isn't he? Yeah, so he'll probably be looking at that elite division one day. But this year he's done really well. He's had a win rate of 100% in both speed and endurance, and he's had a go at all three disciplines. So taking the podium every single time. So yeah, watch this space for him. I think he's going to do quite well today.
All right, so that's our first athletes and the divisions that they're in. So beginner adults is about to start. Just waiting for the go-ahead here to click over to that live stream, and then we'll get going. So this is our first ever event with the live streaming, so there's been a lot of lessons learnt, a lot of technology. I'm in my 50s, so learning technology is not something that I want, but we've all had a crack. Hato's been very passionate about getting this all up and running. He wants all that info on the screen for viewers at home to watch, and he really wants this to be a professionally run event, both with the live stream and obviously on the course. So if anything goes wrong, it's probably going to be me out here pushing the wrong button, but we'll get you guys onto that live stream as soon as I get the thumbs up, and we'll get stuck into it. So first runner on the course will be Corey Newman, and we are also expecting a storm to hit here in around 10 to 15 minutes, so we might even get some interference through the microphone there as we get going, but we'll worry about that as it happens.
And the gym's looking amazing out there. It's set up really well. And yeah, Hato's put in so much time, which is fantastic to see. Absolute epic obstacles hanging up there. It's going to be a big challenge for our ninjas today.
Alright, so we've got all the obstacles out of our garage finally, so it's good to have some room. Everything's here. We're going to be staying back tonight to rip the gym apart, set up for speed for tomorrow, and we'll hang up as much endurance obstacles as we can for the afternoon. And tomorrow is going to be basically a 9-hour day of all ninja running through these guys. They're going to be a bit buggered. So with speed, there'll be hopefully 6 of them running first up tomorrow for beginner adults in speed. And what happens is as soon as Scott finishes his run, we go straight back to Corey. So each athlete runs that speed course 3 times, and then their average score over those 3 divisions is what will end up on that leaderboard. So the idea is if you have a bad run first up, you want to improve on it, but you also don't want to have a worse run because that just brings your score down. So you've got to be pretty consistent in those 3 runs of speed, and use the first run basically to touch everything, get a feel for it, see where you can make up time, and then get stuck into going faster. And then endurance will be the killer in the afternoon. So 12 obstacles in endurance, and there are I think there's only going to be 1 rest point on a box during those 12 obstacles. Everything else is hanging. So a bit like burnout, if you've ever seen the NSC vision of the burnout courses, if you need to rest between obstacles, you're basically hanging from something. So that'll test their grip strength and their forearm pump for sure, and we'll see who is left standing at the end of that. So you're basically running 6 courses over the day and a half of competing. So great value for money, great exposure to different structure of how courses are set up, and it doesn't favour any particular ninja. So we've got ninjas that only train speed, or they say every course is a speed course, and they're going to get tested obviously in a technical course where you can't quite flow the obstacles like you would in a speed course. And then tomorrow for endurance, there's going to be a lot of people running out of time or timing out because the time limit is not huge, and the longer they take to rest means less time to complete the obstacle. So preparation is the key. You want to be training all 3 disciplines coming into this event, just so you're a well-rounded athlete at the end of the day.
Such an awesome format having all 3 disciplines. It reminds me of the Olympics, rock climbing in the Olympics, how they do speed, they do bouldering, and they do top roping. So it's not just about speed, it's about, the whole package, which is just fantastic.
That's it. That's what we want. We want to see these athletes be challenged, and we want to see athletes that sometimes don't hit the podium get an option to make back points in a discipline that they might be stronger in. So that's the goal for tomorrow, and we're just waiting on the go-ahead here to say our first runner will be on the course, and we'll be able to get stuck into it. So we're usually pretty on time with our comps here at Mr. Ninja, and we are good to go. So we're just waiting on the go-ahead here, and we'll get stuck into it.
All right, Corey Newman's going to be our first one. This is exciting. This is the Dad Bod Ninja, as he self-proclaimed. We didn't make that name up for him.
All right, so let's click across. There's our beginner athletes. So here's their finishing points, how they got their points in the leaderboard. So first up will be Corey, and we're going to click on to our score right now.
So Corey's 7th rank Corey's on the stage now. We might not be able to see it, but hopefully it'll pop up soon.
Alright, we got a glitch there, folks. Sorry about that. We've got it ready to go. It's screaming outside, but for whatever reason, it has not linked through to my back end here. I told you it'd most likely be my fault, but we just don't have the live stream clicking through at the moment to the receiver at this end. So it looks like we're going to miss Corey's run on the course, and then we'll have to get head coach, head IT man and designer of all this stuff to come in and just quickly click on whatever's not clicked on, and we can get ourselves sorted with this live stream. So I can hear clapping and cheering going on out there. Apologies for our viewers that are watching. All right, folks, we are back on a live stream. So a bit of a technical glitch there. First time live streaming, as I said. So we're all learning as we go here. So Corey was our first runner. We just missed his run on the live stream, but we won't miss any more going forward. So we'll get the camera back off this tripod, and we'll move on into our second runner. So second runner will be Alex McDonald. They're just doing a quick review of something on Corey's run, and then we'll be straight into our live stream for runner number 2. So there you can see the bulk of the gym there. As I said, we're only small if you've never been here. Gym's size is only 200 square metres, but we fit a lot in. And the little green room down the back is where Carissa and I are hiding. We're in the storage cupboard. Yeah, that's it. Give them a wave. All right, so look down the back there from the green room. There we are. We're in the back room there, like the naughty people. So they couldn't find a job for me to do, so they said, you love talking, we'll just shove you in the green room, which is the storage cupboard. So we're surrounded by a lot of obstacles here. We're sweating, but we've got a little fan blowing on us, and now we are ready. All right, here comes Alex.
All right, and Jamin can't say it, but this is by far the best ninja gym here in Queensland and arguably Australia. He's too biased because he helped build it, but I, having a ninja myself, can vouch for that. We drive across the city and up the coast to get here every week. So here we go, Alex. Just a reminder, this is his first year doing ninja, and here he goes. What do we got here, Jamin?
It's a bit of a quick balance, so you've got to come down that incline really fast. And then you've basically got to run on a balance beam that's against the wall without using your hands. So we've gone past it already, but we'll get to see it in action shortly. And then obstacle 2. We're going through lobster claws into rings, and the rings are at different heights and different distances. So you've got to build up a bit of swing. You've got to trust your grip on these lobster claws, and then lock that in to move through to the next box. So you've got to remember, these are beginner adults. So adults are basically anyone over the age of 15. And now we've got the twin poles. So these poles are both strapped in, and they both tilt either way. So the idea with this is to get from one box to the other, but you can't touch the floor. And now he's got to manipulate this pole or get around this pole. There we go. All right, now we're into lache lane, which is basically a tramp jump into a spider wall, which is 2 cat grabs. All right, that was a bit tricky. All right, so we're coming back over now. I think we're at about obstacle 6 already, or maybe 5. So we got trapeze here to thunderclap, which is a cliffhanger with a hinge, which you've got to close up.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got to reach out to another trapeze bar, which is just obscured there. There we go. And then he's over to the mouse trap. Now for beginners, we've held the mouse trap part up, so it's basically just a cliffhanger transfer. Oh, he's just missed the next transfer. So we just lose the points on that obstacle.
All 3 points, Jamin?
We lose all 3. All or nothing. So this is just a ring swing onto a very vertical balance beam. So this is pretty much Alex's second comp from memory. So this one's going to test him now. We're going into a flying bar, which is a solid pad to a bungee. They can skip if they want to. So.
Oh, wow. And this is the first time that we've seen him on a tech course.
There you go. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird feeling if you've never done it before. And then these guys get the switcheroo as the last obstacle, but it's just a straight bar slide. So not a lot of technical stuff with these guys because they are just beginners, but he's still got to hold that switcheroo in a funny vertical grip and then get across to that box to finish. So there you go. So there's a technical course for a beginner who's on his second ever comp. So you don't know what to expect with these, and they're all a learning curve.
I think watching these beginners as well just shows us how hard the sport actually is. If you stay tuned to after this and watch the teams and pros, they make it look so easy, but it's actually super difficult. And these guys are showing us how challenging it really is. They're beginners, but these are all really fit, strong athletes, and they haven't trained heaps in ninja already, so it's all very challenging to do.
All right, so our next competitor is going to be Joseph Davidson.
Now Joseph, he trains pretty hard. Every time I turn up to the gym where he trains, he's having a good crack. He's been doing ninja for a few years, which is fantastic to see. He works at a cafe, does a bit of coaching, but he absolutely loves the sport. I think he's got a big supporter crew here today as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, let's see how he goes. I think he is ranked 3rd in the beginner adults division going into this, so we're expecting to see a lot out of Joe.
All right, so hopefully we get a better look at obstacle 1. So obstacle 1 basically is straight down a box. So you're going down a decline flat balance beam, and then you've got to basically throw your legs to the left, and you've got to pick up pace because you can't use your hands and you can't rub that black rock climbing wall. There's a green beam there right in the corner, so you've basically got to come down that first balance beam with a bit of pace, put 1 or 2 feet on the second balance beam, and then launch off that balance beam to a ring on a strap on a flying fox. And you only complete that obstacle when you dismount that flying fox part. So 4-minute time limit. I forgot to mention, 4 minutes for all divisions today in technical. So it seems like a long time, and now he's got to get some speed up to jump to this. Long legs works. There we go.
Well
there we
done.
go.
Yep.
And the dismount point is a black mat at the very end of that monkey bar.
Have a look at his hands too. He's well and truly ready for this. He is chalked up on every single finger and every single surface.
All right. So the taller athletes have to think about their feet placement as well when swinging. So on these high rings, it's not so bad, but once you drop down to the next ring, which is a lot lower, that next let go, your feet are going to come quite close to the floor. Oh, go back. All right. And then he saves it. All right.
He's doing so well though, doing so well so far. Probably our most points scored yet today.
There we go. All right, so this one can be tricky because the poles do move. So you can't contact any of the strapping or the bracketing, it's just the silver pole. And then he's out to a Goodman Grips triangle and then onto another pole. Now that pole can stay as it is, or he can tilt it forward if he can build up momentum. And it looks like he's just going to slide down there and make the dismount. All right, so here we go, spider jump. You've got to be very accurate with this because those cat grab pads are only about 30 centimeters wide. So if you don't time your dismount off this trampoline, you're not going to get the foot placement, and you need your feet locked in to unhook a ring on a strap above you. There we go, that's good. So lock those feet, unhook that ring, and now it's a swing to a UFO catch.
Wow.
Oh, he's hit the mat. There we go. So that's where the taller athletes are going to have that struggle because it's not just an upper body move. All right, so same deal here. Is he going to try the jump box? So the trapeze bar on this one is optional. It just makes it easier to get to that thunderclap, but there will be someone in that elite teens later on that's going to jump from that black box straight to that cliffhanger and take a shortcut.
Taking a breather, which is always a good thing to do if you've got the time.
All right, here we go. Take a breath. So this is just a ring swing onto a balance beam, but you cannot touch anything other than the balance silver part itself. So it's just going to test people's ability there.
Joe's coming off a shoulder injury too, so you know this is all pretty shouldery. It's really testing his shoulder there. I can see it.
All right. So when we built this flying bar, we learnt very quickly that we needed to have a safety line above the pole. I think the second or third person that tried this on the bungee actually shot the bar up and it hit the roof. So we learnt quickly to throw a safety line on. So he just skipped that first bungee, which you're allowed to do. You don't have to use every pad, but they are there if you need to. So last obstacle, obstacle 8 is the switcheroo. Basically just a slide.
Yep. This is a new one though, yeah?
Brand new obstacle.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Hato saw this on an American competition.
And did Hato make this obstacle?
He makes everything we see here.
Yep.
Now he does it all by hand, so we don't CNC. We don't have a CNC machine. He cuts everything out with a jigsaw and a router, and he makes all of his obstacles by hand. So there's a lot of time goes into it, a lot of mess in my garage, and I'm always telling him to blow a vac out the sawdust. But he's very passionate about just constantly challenging our ninjas. And anybody who comes here and does our comp classes or trains with Hato can see that he just wants to make ninja basically ever evolving. And if we're going to keep up and send athletes to worlds overseas every year, we need to give them exposure to some of the obstacles that we see on the world stage so that they're a little bit more prepared and not overwhelmed when touching an obstacle for the first time. So our next competitor is young Jasper. Now, as I said, he's a tall boy, so he's just going to have to watch his feet placement on a few of these obstacles as well. And he's also only just starting his ninja basically competitive journey. And this is his home gym, so he feels very comfortable here. But we'll see how he goes. He's repping his Fusion Ninja Finals shirt.
It's a good shirt.
So all the athletes get one of those. And on the back of that are our sponsors, which I'll talk through shortly. Alright, so here we go. Jasper's starting obstacle 1. He's got long legs, so he should be able to get through this one. He's just going to have to pick them up. There we go.
There we
Feet
go.
up. Oh, beautiful. Alright. Alright, Coach Mum on the sideline. So long arms, long legs can help you in some obstacles, but then other obstacles that can hinder you.
So what do we get if we win the series today? What happens?
So everybody will get, whoever wins basically each discipline. So there'll be medals presented for the winner or top 3 place getters in technical for each division, and the same for speed and the same for endurance. And then there'll be overall prizes for first, second and third overall. And then the champion who wins the division, both male and female, get to hold the big trophy, and then we'll get plaques done up and their names will be added to that trophy, which will be the perpetual trophy that'll be given out every year for the athletes to have their name on.
I heard a rumor there might be some cash prizes today as well.
There is. So we added up all the value of all the prizes amongst all divisions over this weekend and next weekend, and we've got $6,000 worth of prizes, giveaways, gift cards and cash over all the prizes given out. So I don't know about anyone else, but when you go to a ninja comp, you know, prizes are great, but to have $6,000 worth to give out is pretty cool. So we've worked hard with our sponsors just to make sure that everybody who competes gets something out of it. And even though some of these divisions might only have 1 or 2 athletes in them, the idea is to grow this league and show people what it's about. And by branching into other gyms, it will expose the 3 different disciplines and the rules to a lot more ninjas, and then a lot more people will be vying for those prizes. So Jasper's touching a lot of these obstacles for the first time here.
So Jasper trains here. Is he coming on a Wednesday night?
I think he was doing Tuesday nights, I think, at one point.
Okay. There's a few different nights you can come.
We do a Monday, sort of teen and adult comp class, and then we do a Wednesday night for advanced comp class, and then Tuesday night is where we do our amateur and basically essentials comp training. So for people wanting to learn how to compete and being exposed to obstacles, I'm usually driving home from work when all those classes are on, so I don't get to see a lot of the action. I just hear the stories around the dinner table at 9 o'clock at night when we all finally get to sit down and debrief. Alright, so there's Jasper's final run. So once the next competitor's finished, we'll put the leaderboard up and just see how they all fared. Now some of these guys have never done a technical course before. Remember, they might have qualified through speed, or they might have qualified through endurance. So technical is exactly that. Some of these obstacles have to be used in a very technical way to get through them. So Scotty's always entertaining to watch.
And he's our last competitor before we move on to the teens, which I highly recommend staying tuned for. They're absolute legends.
So we've got our last runner on the course now. We'll bring up that leaderboard, and we'll definitely go for a quick break to set up the next course, but then we'll have 9 of our elite teens competing. So we've got 5 boys, 4 girls, and they're all vying for that #1 spot. So they'll be great to watch because they're all seasoned athletes, no newbies in that group.
And we have a special guest commentator, professional ninja Abby Cutts, coming for the teens as well.
Yeah, we'll be bringing Abby in to talk, so we'll get her expert opinion, because it wasn't long ago she was in the teens division. Now she's had a few birthdays, she's in the adult division. But this division next after these guys are the ones that will be chasing all the adults in the coming years.
All right, another very tall ninja.
All right, so here's Scott. All right, so he's been doing a lot of OCR recently.
His last tech competition, he placed second, which is fantastic, and he's had a couple of first places in the other disciplines as well, so I'm sure he's chasing a first place here.
Alright, so he's the highest ranked out of the 5 males that we just watched. And again, he's only just started his competition journey. His OCR journey is a bit longer, but in ninja itself, he's just starting to get into it. So he's still learning the techniques. Alright, he's doing well through here for a tall fella. Alright, nice. There's a clear. So this one's a bit of a vertical possum crawl. Not too challenging for some people. Alright, that was easier. Alright, can we see a big tramp jump into this one?
All right.
Well, he's just going to start on the tramp. There you go. Bit more control. There, squeeze those feet. Squeeze those feet. All right, we're going to unhook now. The thing with this is it's a low swing. Legs need to be up. Beautiful. Oh, he just didn't get up high enough.
Close.
A lot of core muscles there. There's a technique to be used. And there's a UFO up above which he needs to grab onto. So we just lost the points on that obstacle. Alright, so swinging through. So watch his feet there. We've got a good angle of how much clearance he has. So he just needs to reach out.
He didn't like the looks of
There
that
you go.
cliffhanger.
Didn't like that cliffhanger. Alright, so
Yes.
come on, 3 obstacles to go. Haven't seen anybody get through this one. So ring on a strap. Just got to be nice and straight when you dismount the box. If you're offline, you're not going to get your feet placed. So the idea is just to get on that silver and step straight onto the red box. Alright, flying bar time. Now we don't have access to the countdown clock here. We're locked in that little green room in the back there. Alright, here we go. Alright, nice. That's it. So he's skipping the bungees. Smart move. Oh, he swung it. Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, he went clear. There we go. Only one
Alright.
move with the long legs.
You made it look easy. Last obstacle here. If you wanted to buy one of these obstacles of Ninja Haters, can you buy one, or is this sort of an exclusive thing, special for the Fusion?
At the moment, he's just made it for here, but I'm sure if you asked him nicely, he'd work it out.
Yeah.
So apparently our microphone volume is quite low on the live stream, so we're going to have to hold this mic right up to our lips, I think. So if I spit on this mic, I apologise. But there's a lot of fans and background noise, so we'll try to be a bit louder in our speak. All right, thanks Tamika. Got one of our mums at home watching the live stream, giving us a bit of info on volume and so forth. So we're learning as we go with this. By the end of next weekend, I'll be a professional. I'll be able to quit my job as a ferry captain and I'll go and get a job on a radio station. But for now, we'll do our best to give you guys some entertainment. So that is the end of beginner adults. I'll click over to that leaderboard shortly and we'll be able to go through and let you know how everybody went. Now there was a sponsors page here somewhere, but I can't find it. So some of our sponsors for the league so far, we've had Goodman Grips come on board and they've supplied some obstacles to use in the competitions as well as some prizes. Central Coast Trophies have looked after us all year with supplying the medals, and this time around it's medals and trophies. There's some pretty cool trophies out the front there. So Brisbane Ninja Frames has come on board as well with discounts off obstacles for this finals course, as well as obstacles to be used as prizes. And then obviously we've sponsored it by allowing our gym to be used, and Hado's put all the work into that. And then we'll go through some of the other sponsors as we move on out through the day. So I'll click on this leaderboard and we'll see if it's going to be giving us a live score. Tech. All right. That's not linking through there, so something's not happening with our leaderboard. Let me just click out of it and click back into it and see if it refreshes for us. All right, Hado's just going to go out there and interview Scott out on the course, so I'll turn this mic off. Now we're losing the live update on the leaderboard, so we'll worry about that during the break and we'll come back to it while we can. But we'll just cross over to Hado on course and he's going to interview Scott.
All right, well, Scott, you came into this comp ranked number 1, pulled off quite an entertaining technical run there. How are you feeling?
It's good. It was a good course. So the challenging ones always make it what we're after. We're after a challenge. No, we're here for an easy course. So it was good.
All right, yeah, well, what part of that course might have seemed like the most challenging to not just you, but like the whole group of beginner adults?
Definitely the grips and the height for a lot of us. A lot of us are 6 foot, and some of them are a little low in spots.
Yeah, we saw that on the ring swing here. A few of them might have just scraped a little bit and dropped a couple points there, but no, we'll see you back for speed and endurance tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Congrats on the run.
Thank you.
See you then.
Absolutely, I'll be here.
All right, so we're just going to update that leaderboard. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to click on the spot. To this leaderboard. right, guys and girls, we are back doing some commentary. So they're just doing the walkthrough now for our elite teens. So we'll go through the run orders and then we'll introduce some of those athletes and talk about some of their history and how they got into the Fusion Finals. So elite teens, as I mentioned before, we've got 5 males and 4 females, and the girls are all locked together in the middle there in the run order. So we're going to be starting off with Sonny Lingard from Byron Bay, and then Elliot Newman will be jumping in second place. His dad Corey Newman was just in beginner adults. Third runner will be Connor Boyd, and then our first female is Darcy Jenkins, who's also just come back from overseas at Worlds. Alison Silk will be running after Darcy, and then Izzy Allen, Stevie Klein, whose mum Carissa was just sitting in the booth with me for the beginner adults, and then we go down to Benny Dowles. And then another one of my ninjas, Cody Reed, will be coming in as the 9th runner. So he's finished with the most points, so he's at the bottom of the start list there, and he'll be coming in as the last runner. So the advantage of obviously having the most points gets you to watch other athletes, and you can gain some pointers on how they did the course, and then work out a better way to run through it. So joining me now is Abby Cutts. So not long ago she was in this elite teens division. She's a little bit older now and moved up into the adult league. So welcome, Abby. And Abby's going to go through some of the bio info and talk about some of the background of some of our athletes.
Thank you. So hello everyone. Our first runner in the Elite Teens division is Sonny Lingard. He is ranked 12th in the division, and a little bit about himself: he lives in Byron Bay. He also plays basketball as well as competing in Ninja, and he did just take a year off Ninja, but he's gotten back into it and is enjoying it a lot. What he's enjoyed most about the Fusion Ninja series this year is just getting back into competing, and he's most looking forward to trying out the new obstacles at this finals comp. Our second runner we have is Elliot Newman. So he's ranked 8 in the Elite Teens division, and he actually, looking at the stats here, he went to every single qualifier, which is really good. He went to all three of the first ones and all 3 of the second ones.
So he's consistent.
Very consistent. That might help him for the comp today because he's had all that practice already. Okay.
All right, runner 3,
Connor Boyd, yeah. Connor's ranked 7th in the Elite Teens division. He's 13 and he's been competing for 3 years. He's really enjoyed the challenges of the Fusion Ninja series, and his favorite comps have been the endurance and the tech comps. He's most looking forward to pushing himself over 2 days of competition. 2 days of competition is something that like a lot of Australian ninjas probably haven't experienced. Most comps just go over 1 day. So it's quite cool getting to compete over 2 days. Next up, 4th runner, we have Darcy Jenkins. She's ranked 6th in the Elite Teens division. She's been doing ninja for a long time, 5 years. She's like 12, so she's been doing ninja for like almost just a bit under half her life, yeah. So she got 3rd at the UNAA Worlds this year. I believe she was in the under 11s division, so she did amazing. And she loves any obstacles that spin. It's an interesting choice. Spinning obstacles are hard. She enjoys the fusion courses because they're unique and creative. I definitely do too. Hato comes up with some crazy ideas. And she is most looking forward to seeing how far she can go in the endurance course and maybe the speed. Okay.
All right. Next one, Ali Silk.
That's not Ali. So Ali's ranked 5th in the Elite Teens division. She's been doing ninja for 6 years, so like half of her life. I believe she's 12. She also plays AFL and she swims, and she loves doing ninja with her friends because they have so much fun. She enjoys, like most other ninjas, how the fusion courses have been challenging and fun, and she's most looking forward to challenging herself to try and get the win, but most of all having fun with her friends and cheering everyone on. She's a great sport. Who do we have next?
Izzy Allen.
Izzy Allen.
One of yours.
Yes, she's one of my students. I think I've been training her since for about 4 years now probably. So she's been doing ninja since 2018 and she loves to compete, swing and play around. Her favorite thing about ninja is all the friends that she's made around the world, and she also does swimming and martial arts. She most enjoys the different disciplines that showcase different talents of all ninjas and challenge her different aspects of training. And she's most looking forward to trying new obstacles. I know Izzy pretty well because I train her a lot, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching her on this tech course because her tech has improved quite a bit in the last year. And then we have Stevie Klein. Stevie also, she's come to some of my classes. She's quite a strong ninja. She's ranked 3rd in the Elite Teens division. She likes how the courses are unique and fun. She hasn't said which course she's most looking forward to, but I'm really excited to watching Stevie do, I think, I'm probably looking forward to watching her do the speed because I know she has gotten pretty fast lately. That's quite exciting. Okay, I believe our second last runner of this division is Benny Dowes. I can't quite find him, but I do know a lot about Benny, so this should be pretty easy. There he is? Okay, perfect. Benny is ranked 2nd in the Elite Teens division. He enjoys the challenging and creativity of the courses, and he also enjoys trying new obstacles and being able to do all 3 types of courses. His average on speed is 24 points across the year, which is full clear. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know that Benny went to Worlds earlier this year and he actually got on the podium, placing 3rd at the UNAA. So that's exciting. I also know that he is a beast when it comes to grip strength type of obstacles, so I am looking forward to seeing Benny on the endurance course. Okay. Our final runner, who is ranked 1st in the division, is Cody Reed. Cody is a Mr. Ninja local here, but
He didn't write much about himself.
he loves everything. Yes, know everything already. He loves being able to test his limits and seeing who comes out on top after all 3 divisions. So I'm excited to see Cody on the endurance course, especially because isn't he the only person that's ever cleared a fusion endurance course?
Yeah, he went 1st place, yep.
Yeah, I believe he's the only clear that's ever happened on one of Haydo's endurance, which is crazy. I've done both of Haydo's endurance courses and they were so challenging.
Cool. All right, so we're just running through the last of the walkthrough out there. So again, we just got to make sure that everyone knows the rules. We don't want anybody getting a little bit worried about the rules on the start box. So the walkthrough in any course is about asking questions during the walkthrough so that when you're on that start box, all you're worried about is that obstacle in front of you. So 8 obstacles today, 24 points up for grabs, 3 points per obstacle, 4-minute time limit, which isn't coming into play at this age division. They should all clear well under that 4 minutes. But they don't have time to hang around for too long. Any chalking that's going to be done on the course has to be done in a rest point. So they can only do it on the rest areas between obstacles. And we do recommend that powdered chalk is used on the course because liquid chalk obviously takes too long to dry and it means that you're wasting that time. So in all of the courses that we've had running, even our own son Cody, for anybody who hasn't seen how we operate a course, we don't let him see any of the obstacles. so that there's no advantage given. He's only seeing these obstacles today for the first time, so there's been a lot of top secret stuff happening at home, a lot of course testing happening here with Naomi, Hato and myself, and Cody's being kept in the dark, just so that it's an even playing field. I'm not a big fan of touching obstacles prior to competing, so we try to make sure that everybody sees the obstacles at the same time during the walkthrough, and then all those questions can be asked by those people that need to ask the questions. So if you've ever been to a UNAA competition, whenever we get to that under 9s, under 11s, that's where all the funny questions come out. So our walkthroughs tend to take a lot longer in the younger age divisions because there's a lot more questions being asked, some of them good, some of them not so good, but that's what keeps us entertained. And this sport is about different personalities and different levels of ability, and the whole idea of Ninja is you're not competing against the people in the course with you, you're competing against that course. So there's 9 people walking around out there at the moment that aren't really competing against each other, they're competing against these obstacles. So if you don't train hard and train all 3 disciplines, you can only really blame your own abilities if you're not getting maximum points on those obstacles. So yes, it's daunting. Some of these guys out there have good rivalries. The 4 girls, it's going to be interesting to see who steps up out of the 4 girls and out of the boys as well. There's no given. Just because you come in ranked number 1 doesn't mean you're going to always finish on top, because everybody can have a bad day, and some people can overcome anxiety a little bit more than others. Some people don't have the nerves of others. So that's why we love this sport. We're in the sport because we like seeing kids kick goals and achieve things they never thought they could. And we get a real buzz out of coaching beginner kids because they're the ones that come in here and are shocked to see what Ninja's about. And the first time they get an obstacle or up a warp wall or anything that they challenge themselves on is when we all get excited and clap. And that's the community we want to build, and we want to keep it going. So we're pretty much the last competitive Ninja gym left in Queensland that run all the different leagues. Ninja Hub up in Mackay recently closed down, so their athletes have been coming to us where they can fit it in their schedule. It's not a cheap sport, Ninja. You've got to spend a lot of money to travel to comps and interstate sometimes. So we're going to try to run every single league that we can next year. And I'll click over to the calendar for 2026 for what we're offering for Fusion. And then we'll obviously be fitting in all of our other leagues independently of this. So this is the Fusion calendar for next year. And then we'll also be running a unidirect qualifier for next year's Worlds, where we're hopefully going to be running a FINA endurance and speed qualifier for next year's Worlds. We'll also be doing a WNAG competition. What else have we got to fit in? An NCL. I think we're hopefully going to do 2 NCL qualifiers as well as this. So we're going to be running a lot of competitions here next year. Not a lot of sleep going to be had, I can tell you that, because it takes a lot of effort to design courses, set up courses, course test, let the public come in and look at some of them. Some leagues you're allowed to test before competing, some you're not. So there's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes, and all of the owners of Ninja gyms around the country know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of effort put in, and it is a community. We do ask a lot from our families to help out, and this event especially being our first live streamed event. We've got mums and dads out there running a food stall. Tomorrow there'll be a sausage sizzle. We've got shirts being handed out. We've got parents in here photographing the athletes. We're going to have different parents on the camera for the live stream. So without those volunteers, these events are very, very hard to run. And obviously in here in the booth with me, we've got Abby volunteering, and then she'll be running straight out and getting ready to compete this afternoon in the elite adults. So without the community behind this sport, it's not going to grow. And we really just need everybody to support one another. Gyms don't need to challenge gyms. We just all need to be here for the same thing. So we're quite friendly with a lot of gyms, and we talk often about how to work together, which is why we've expanded into New South Wales next year. So AWF, or Australian Warrior Fitness, have come on board to do a speed qualifier and a technical qualifier, and then OCR School are going to be taking on a speed qualifier and an endurance qualifier. So our New South Wales athletes will get a crack if they work between the 2 gyms to do all 3 disciplines. and then obviously they get to come up here for finals. So it's going to be a big year next year, 2026, and yeah, we'll get it all sorted as we go. So we're just going to get this live stream hooked up, and we'll be back on board very soon. All right. So our first runner coming up is Sonny Lingard. So Sonny's come all the way up from Byron Bay this morning. He's recently injured himself playing basketball. So he's had to recover from that. Missed a bit of training. But he's back on board now. So let's see how he goes today. He's only come in with one qualifier, I think. So he might not have done all three disciplines, but that doesn't matter. Today's about maximum points. So 3 points per obstacle. You're allowed to fail multiple times, so there's no fail out. You don't fall off. If you come off this first obstacle, you just simply miss those 3 points, and on you go to the next obstacle. All right, so I'll get Abby to call this first one, and then we'll take turns at working our way through.
Sonny's looking ready to run the course. So Sonny's come off the foot injury, like you said, but this course isn't too lower body intensive, so I think he should be okay. So he's walking across the balance beams. He's about to jump to that ring. Cleared that. Nice job. So we have the talons, a DGS obstacle. Not all of these kids would have tried the talons before, as they're made in America. He's doing quite well on them. I believe on these ones you can choose to grab on the higher up groove on the black part of the talon, or there is a lower down groove as well. So he's on to the poles, the pole vaulting obstacle. Pushing up. Yeah. So this, I'm waiting to see the different approaches, whether people run up into it or if they just try jump into it or maybe bounce into it. It's a good idea to take a bit of a rest because this is quite a big obstacle. That was a good approach, bouncing and jumping up. So I think he's going to need to take a big jump back and keep his legs up. Oh, very close. I have been waiting to see someone do this obstacle all day, the actual mousetrap part where you have to flick the board up and catch the cliffhanger. So he went for the static there. That might be something that the other ninjas are watching and seeing different techniques, what works and what doesn't. See how Sunny goes on this flying bar obstacle. This is definitely a new obstacle to Australia. I certainly haven't seen it.
Switcheroo.
Yeah. He's gonna have to pull it up and try switch it over to the other side. I'm interested to see whether the other ninjas try to swing through that one or try to do a bit of a pull-up. But that was a great run from Sunny. Great way to start off the teens division.
All right, so next up is Elliot Newman. So Elliot's one of our shorter competitors, so sometimes he has an advantage on these obstacles where you could grab your feet across a mat or drag your feet, and then other times he's at a disadvantage because he has to make that extra jump. So it'll be interesting to see how he tackles these obstacles. So again, some of these obstacles people have not seen or touched until today. And that's the whole idea with a sport. You want people to not be able to practice obstacles before competing on them. So there's no disadvantage there. And a lot of these obstacles have been inspired from other competitions around the world. A lot of them come out of WNL leagues or with DGS and also NSC, which is probably the league of favour that seems to be on YouTube in our household. Not uncommon to come home from a day's work when the gym's not open and find NSC on the TV, and that is the league that seems to sell out very quickly, and it's going to be interesting to see how these kids tackle the challenge. So Hado's just inputting the scores there into the leaderboard, and then there'll be a quick reset of a couple of obstacles. So these elite teens are going to go through that flying bungee. Flying bar pad bungee, and it looks like they're going into the bear traps. So they've only got a shortened distance to run the flying bar, but they have to finish in the bear trap at the end. So a new obstacle for us as well. So we haven't really had it out for anybody to practice. So we'll just see how our competitors fare through these obstacles. Again, today's just about getting your hands warmed up, touching the obstacles. It might not be your favourite discipline technical, but it means you can come back tomorrow on speed and you get 3 attempts to do your best and get those points. So just resetting some of these obstacles now. At least the live stream is working. Our first thunderstorm has already gone and passed, so we didn't get too much from that, which is good. You can see we've got a metal roof on this building. So when we get heavy rain, it does echo quite a lot in here. All right, so here comes Elliot to the start line. So everyone starts on the mat behind and then steps up onto that box. There we go. Smaller athlete got through that quite easy. Obstacle 1, tick. So his height should be an advantage through here as well because he doesn't have to think too much about his legs and feet touching the mat. And as Abby said, these are an American obstacle. We had one of our families buy this from overseas at one of the competitions this year. So the talons are a bit of a weird thing to hold on to, especially with small hands, but he got through that pretty well. Now the tilting poles, you just don't want to overthink this. You just got to treat it as it is. Hands and feet allowed. And this back one, you don't really have to move too much if you can get your body around it. So being shorter, he's going to have to work for this because he can't get his feet on the box too well. You can see him trying to figure it out. That's it. Got to go around that pole. That's it. Feet on, come on. So our taller athletes just throw their foot on and they can get around that pole. Oh, bugger. So that's why it's a technical obstacle. You've got to think about your body placement. All right. Short legs. He's made good well of that. Grab that ring. He shouldn't have to worry about touching the mat here. Just not enough power. So we'll see if anyone changes their approach to that obstacle. All right, Abby might get her first athlete get to use this mouse trap. So the first one's a thunderclap, I've been told. Got to talk it by its right name. There we go. And now this one is going to have to be a quick reflex. If he's got long enough arms, he might be able to quickly span it. But the idea is to flick that bit of timber out the way and grab the cliffhanger behind it in a very quick move. So now we just got the swing to balance beam. If you're quick enough, you can just run up that bar onto that red box. But you just got to commit with a bit of power. Alright, big back kick. There we go. Got his foot caught on the blue mat there, so it took his power off him anyway. Alright, 2 obstacles to go. Switch grip is vital on this one. So you can go pad to pad or pad to bungee, whatever works. Alright, last obstacle, the switcheroo. So this only got its final coat of paint yesterday, and it's not something most of these guys have felt anything like. So now he's got to swing that to the other side. While hooking in, he's got to release the side that he's already hanging on. So we'll see if anyone figures that puzzle out. All right, well done, Elliot.
Okay, so we have Connor Boyd on the starting platform. I'm excited to try this obstacle myself. It looks harder. I reckon it's harder than it looks. But he made that look easy. It's onto the talons. So he's choosing to hold them up a bit higher by the looks. Bit of a lock off there. It's always a good idea to go back to the ring behind you when you get a bit stuck. I think he just has to relax himself and he'll get through this one nice and easily. Possibly. Maybe holding it down a little bit lower could make it a bit easier. He's done that quite well. Oh. He does have long arms. There's one advantage of being one of the taller athletes in this division. He is, as I said, he's one of the taller athletes, so he might have an easier time getting up to this wall. Maybe that was commentator's curse there. Okay, we get to see another person take on this thunderclap and mousetrap combo. Very excited to see this one. He went out with a lead. That was a pretty smart decision. I want to see if he tries to lead one arm out again to get this one. So he went 2 arms for that one. I believe we're yet to see an athlete complete this obstacle the whole day yet. I really want to see some of these teens get to the bear trap at the end and see them give it a go, because I don't think many of us ninjas from Brisbane and Queensland have tried a mousetrap. I believe they have a few in Melbourne, but we don't really have them up here. Nice run by Connor.
All right, so Darcy Jenkins on the box, ready to go. So Darcy's come a long way in the last year. She's become highly competitive in this division. In all the leagues, she's definitely focused, knows what she needs to do, and likes to plan as she's going. So she's got those talons. One's down low, one's up high. But coming back from the States, she's probably used these obstacles before. All right, easy. First two obstacles. So some of these girls it's going to come down to time, I think, because they're all got very similar abilities in who could take it out. All right, through the tilting poles. She's just got to get around this pole now. That's it, that's it. Bit of core strength. There you go. All right. So will she run and jump, or will she stay on the tramp and bounce her way up into that cat grab spider wall? Oh, that's a different approach. Helps to be flexible. Yeah, yeah. Abby's just seen a beta she likes. All right. Yeah, there we go. Our first transfer to the UFO. It's exactly what we're expecting. All right, we might see our first. Now, come on, Mum. Parents have got an important job on the course as chalk carriers. All right, let's see how we go. Pretty easy transfer to the first one, the thunderclap. All right, let's see if someone can do this. Oh, she had the right idea though. Lead out with one hand. The thing with that is you can't be holding that trapeze at the same time. You really need to have the other hand right behind because it's going to be, gravity's going to win that one. All right, can she figure this one out? It's a simple move, but harder than it looks just to get to the bar. Hey, oh no. She got there and then foot fell onto the ground. So that'll show some of the other athletes how to conquer it. All right, flying bar time. Oh. All right. We'll have to leave those flying bars up for a bit longer, I think. Do some training with those. See if she figures out the switcheroo. Right. She's trying to work it out here. But her hand, you don't want your hand in the space where you need to flick it, so she's going to have to work this puzzle out. All right. Oh, she's asked the question. Yes, she can slide it from the box, but she won't be able to go back to the box now. So the way this is designed is it only hooks on one side at a time. So you can't hook it up to have it on both. You've got to be able to hook it up, flick it, and unhook the other one at the same time. So good run by Darce. I think she got 5 clears maybe. So she showed us how to get through that spider wall transfer to UFO. And she was pretty close to that mouse trap. So we'll check in on the scores afterwards. We can't get that leaderboard to sync to this live stream at the moment, so we won't worry about it on the screen. But once they're finished, I'll get a photo of that leaderboard and I'll advise what the scores are for anybody watching at home. All right, quick reset, and then we'll have Ali Silk on the start line.
Next up we have Ali. Ali has also been in Ninja for a while, so I'm excited to see her take on this course. Also, another one of our shorter athletes. So this might be a big jump, but I think she has it. Nice. Perfectly done. It's interesting to see where these ninjas grab on the talons. So Ali's decided to go the higher up grip. I think as long as she keeps her momentum good, then that should work fine. She's gotten through that one very well. She's climbing up the pole to get a bit more height, and then she has to climb down to get to the box. She's got that core strength. Believe she does. She does a lot of sports, so I'm not surprised she has very good core strength. Will she go for the same approach that Darcy just took, or will she choose her own path? Just missed that one, but she's done many comps, so she'll know how to get back up and keep going and not let that one miss bother her. Nice catch on those cliffhangers. See if she leads out with one hand here. Oh, that was close. We actually saw the cliffhanger on the live stream that time, meaning she had enough power. Can she be the first person to get this one? Must be hard to stay straight off a box that's off to the side. Guess it's why it's called a tech competition. That one was pretty straight. That was close. She went for the lache. I think that's probably the best approach. See if Ali's been practicing her flying bar. Just barely missed that one. Flying bars probably something that not a lot of these teens, especially the younger ones, have done in competitions before, so it's great to see them all get to try them in competitions. Switcheroo, will she be able to switch it around? Be our first clear of this obstacle. She's really pushing up with that arm. That was close. Nice run by Ali.
All right, next on course is Izzy Allen, and you'll see out there on the live stream, Abby's now had to go out to coach Izzy. So I'm in the booth by myself. So Izzy's been doing ninja for half of her life as well. Quite capable of getting through this course. It just comes down to mind over ability sometimes. Sometimes you overthink an obstacle. She's asking a few questions out there. All right, let's see how she goes. So she's a little bit taller than the other two girls. So feet might come into play here. Just got to pick them up a bit. So again, watch the placement on those talon handles. So the lower you go, the thinner the handle, and you've got a longer reach. But it also means you've got less to slip off. So if you've got good grip strength like she does, she got through that quite easily. Long legs should help getting off this pole. There we go. All right, see her approach into this spider jump. Oh, don't need a tramp. Oh. Okay, legs up. Nice catch. Clear. All right, so we're clear to here. Halfway, 4 obstacles down, 4 obstacles to go. So this first catch to the thunderclap hasn't seemed to worry too many people. We just haven't seen anybody make that second transfer just yet. All right. Got to be quick with the hands. 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. That's how it's done. Now we've got to dismount to the box to keep those points. Nice. All right, we're clear. 3 obstacles to go. Longer legs should help on this one. Taller body, further distance. All right, the first one was a figure it out one. I guess you really have to be dead straight coming on that backswing. So that's her first miss. And we're yet to see anybody clear this flying bar. Oh, just overshot. Sometimes going the big transfers, you can overshoot a pad. So you've got the option of bouncing closer. Make sure the distance is less. Let's see if she can figure out the switcheroo. Close, close. Oh, you've got to get it up horizontal and then basically pull it to the other direction, which will catch the side you want to hook and unrelease the other side. So it's about timing. And the longer you hang with it vertical, the harder it is on your hands. She's doing so well. So cleared the first 5 and then come off the last 3. So I think that's pretty good. 5 cleared obstacles. So we'll see how the leaderboard looks at the end of this division.
Stevie Klein ready to run the course. Stevie is one of the taller athletes, so she won't have any trouble on jumping up to things, but she will need to be cautious of keeping her feet up on some of our lower down obstacles. She's done that very well. The talons in this course, I don't think they're too much of a tricky obstacle. I think as long as you stay smooth through them, then it's just pretty smooth obstacle if you stay smooth. Get the feet back up. That was a good save. See if she can get to the end. It was nice. So we'll see if she takes this same approach that Darcy and Izzy have now used. She is taller, so it's not too much of a big jump up for her. No!
What?
But then she's not going to have enough power to swing out to that UFO, I don't think. No, yeah, that was kind of close. See if she follows what Izzy just did on this one. She leads out very similar to how Izzy just did it. Oh, close. Hands just slipped, barely. Some athletes choose not to use chalk during the course, which I personally love chalk, but some don't love it quite as much as me. I really want to see someone clear this obstacle. That was close. See how she does on the flying bar. I know she can do a flying bar. She's got to do it in competition. Nice. I want her to keep using the slow approach. That's it. That's it. First look on the bear trap. Big hips up. Oh, that was close. That was a really good attempt. Oh, she got it on. That was a great run from Stevie. Very tricky course, but she got so close to some of those crux obstacles.
All right, second last runner, Ben Dow's coming to the start line. So Ben's quite capable of knocking over all these obstacles clear. He's another one of our shorter athletes in this division, so that'll give him an advantage in some of these obstacles. I wouldn't say a disadvantage in the others. He's just got to have to jump a little bit higher. Oh, off that first one. All right, talons. Here we go. Nice. All right. That's it. Come on. Tilt that pole. Slide down. That's it. That's it. All right. Let's see how he goes with this one. Might have to jump here. So you can only contact the front section of those cat grabs. You can't use the edges, and you can't wrap your hand around them to get a grip on them. All right, obstacle 5. Now Ben does a lot of training at home. Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure I've seen him with this obstacle. They've got a big shed with a heap of ninja gear in it, and he's been overseas several times now, so he's seen and touched a lot of these obstacles. Oh no, he cleared. There you go. So he only had to get to the purple mat, so he did it. Sometimes it's the wins you're not expecting. He got it. All right, come on, bear traps. So it's a bit of an awkward uphill angle. Oh, he hit him. Yeah, just don't think he had enough power behind him to push through those spring-loaded entry points. All right. See how he goes. Power to weight ratio. He should be able to do this. It's just about how to hold it. Bit like an eyeglass, I think. You've got to be able to put all your weight on one side, pull it up. All right. Not too bad. Good warm-up for Ben. He did well there. I think he cleared half the course. So one runner to go. And it is Cody, my son. So I won't be commentating this one. I'll be biting my fingernails in the corner. And I'll get Abby to commentate for Cody's run.
Cody Reed's about to take on this course. I am very excited to see this run. He is the top seed competitor in the elite teens division. I think a lot of people are probably watching his run very closely to see if he can be the one that can clear this course. I think Cody's just going to try to take a smooth approach through these first few obstacles. They're all very doable. Skip one. That was a smart decision, saving some energy. He got the pole a little stuck there, but he does have long arms, so I think he will be able to get this triangle. We saw something similar to that in a competitor earlier on. But yes, he was able to save that. See what approach he takes here. Very good approach. I wouldn't say Cody's one of the tallest athletes, but he's also not one of the shortest. He's kind of a good height there in the middle. Very well done there. Just got to get that dismount. And he is clean through this course so far. Cody has great grip strength, as we've seen in previous qualifiers. Very smooth onto that first thunderclap. Gets to that bar. Now we'll see if he leads one arm out to try get this mousetrap move. Very close there. He's grabbed a little bit higher up on that ring, might be a good approach. So no one has cleared this obstacle yet, so we're going to see if Cody can be our first. He's tried flying bar before, but he hasn't tried a mousetrap before. Very smooth so far. He's got to get his hips up super high for this one, I think. Oh, that was close. We also yet to see someone clear this last obstacle, so Cody has the chance to be the first. I think he's got the right idea here. Just got to pull that arm back to let the other side get on the bar. Very good run. Nice job from Cody.
Alright, so Cody, tell us how did that course feel after 8 grueling obstacles on the upper body especially?
It made me sore.
Made you sore? Which one do you reckon was the one that made you the most sore?
Everything combined.
Alright, well you had a tough time on that last switcheroo obstacle. Do you reckon we're going to see a clear of that one in our last division?
Yeah, probably if you use the right technique.
All right, well, we know your flawless record on our speed courses, 24 points average. That is a full clear every single time. So we'll see you back for the speed tomorrow and the endurance. So good job on your run. And yeah, good luck for tomorrow. Good job.
All right, Cody just getting interviewed by Big Brother there. All right, so our live leaderboard, we still can't get to link across, but I can give you the scores and let you know how everybody went. So in our girls division there for Elite Teen Female, we had Izzy Allen with 15 points, so she cleared 5 obstacles. Darcy came through with 12, so she cleared 4. Both Stevie and Ali came through with 9 points, so 3 clears. In the boys division, Cody got 15 points, coming through with clearing of 5 obstacles. And in second place, Ben and Sonny both got 9 points, so clearing 3. And in fourth and fifth, tied on 6 points, we have Connor and Elliot clearing 2. Now, you got to remember, this is just one of 3 different disciplines. So tomorrow they get to run speed, which some of them might be more competent in. And then everybody finishes on endurance, which is going to test everybody's fitness and everybody's ability. So we're just going to flick over to a quick break while we reset a few obstacles. There's not too many changes here. And then we've only got 3 adults jumping on to the next division. So we'll just move those across, and I'll turn the mic off. All right, we're back on the live feed, folks. Just getting our adult athletes or elite adult athletes to do their walkthrough. So we've got about 10 minutes to kill here while they're out on the course. So only 3 adults in this division. We did have a lot more people qualify, but for whatever reason didn't book finals. But still going to give us a good show here. So Matty's got the win in the bag. So being the only male, he's just got to show up, but he's still going to test himself. And then obviously Taylor and Abby are fighting it out in the female division. So Matty will be our first runner on the course. So just some information about Matty. We actually met him probably 5 years ago, training down at Urban Extreme. And he wasn't taking it too serious then. It was just fitness and fun. And in the last couple of years, he's really taken a liking to doing OCR. And he actually just went over to Sweden as well, I think, for the World OCR Championship. So got that under his belt. And now we're going to push him in some technical options today. So he just says here he likes to compete. And the frequency of comps and the price is not too expensive is why he likes Fusion. So we had 6 qualifiers here in a very short period of time. 2 speed, 2 endurance, 2 technical. And that gave people options to qualify to finals. So next year, with moving into state, I think we've got about 8 or 9 qualifiers all up. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more diverse, and we'll get some interstate athletes to come across. So Matty went through all of our qualifiers. He did endurance and he did speed, and he came first in both of those. He came 4th place in his very first endurance, but he hasn't done a technical course yet. So today we're going to see how he goes and how he gets pushed. So 8 obstacles, as we've seen. It starts to get a little bit higher and a little bit harder. So you're going to see a few changes out there on the course, and this will really challenge the athletes' abilities. So Abby was in here commentating with me on the Elite Teens, and she was trying to figure out or explain to me how to do some of the obstacles, and then those obstacles get switched up to another level for her division. So she'll have to figure that out while on the walkthrough, but it'll be good to watch. So yeah, Matty's had a pretty good run through the qualifiers, and he's just finding his feet with competing now, and we'll see how he goes. But again, it's Matty against Matty, so he's got the win in the bag. It's just about pushing him now and getting him out of his comfort zone. And then we get into the females. So I'll talk a little bit about Taylor, because Taylor's one of our coaches here at Mr. Ninja HQ, and we've known Taylor and the Height family for a few years now. So Taylor's been doing Ninja for about 4 years, and the Fusion Final, she's most looking forward to a technical course because she didn't get to do one of those either. So she had a shoulder injury for one of them, and then for the other one she was actually overseas competing. So this is her first technical course run, and we'll see how she goes figuring out the puzzle. So she's been to the last 2 UNAA World Championships in America, and also one OCR Worlds, which she just came back from in Sweden. So she placed top 10 in all of her events at Uni Worlds this year, and she is the reigning Australian ANG and UNAA national champion for her age division for this year. So she says she loves Fusion here because Haydo makes some challenging courses which really test out different skills and different formats of Ninja. So that's all we're trying to introduce, or Haydo's trying to introduce. We're just getting dragged along for the ride here. So when we opened this gym 4 years ago, Naomi and I ran it, and Haydo was still at school. So we had all the say, and we come up with all the obstacles, and I felt quite good building all those obstacles, and now he's taken things to another level. So I just look at some of the stuff he builds, shake my head, think no one's going to achieve that, and what do you know, people are smashing those obstacles out. So we can't keep the same obstacles up. We've got to keep making it harder and harder and testing those athletes. And the harder you do in qualifying and at finals, the easier it is when you go overseas. So our third athlete is Abby Cutts, who was just sitting beside me in the commentary booth or cupboard. And with me now is Stevie Klein, who we just saw in the Elite Teens division. And it was Stevie's mum, Carissa, who joined me in the booth here for beginner adults. So Stevie's just going to have a bit of a chat about Abby's background and what she's achieved, and then we'll have another chat about stuff while they're finishing off their walkthrough outside. All right, Stevie.
A little bit about Abby Cutts. She's been doing ninja since 2019, so 6 years. She likes designing courses and rock climbing. Her biggest achievement was placing 3rd in Worlds and 2nd strongest ninja in the 2024 WNL Championships last year. She's enjoyed getting to try different styled comps at Australia, because I'm sure she's done other styles in America but not in Australia. Although she's not always a speed ninja, the speed qualifier was her favourite. She's looking forward to endurance burnout style courses in Fusion Finals because she hasn't seen many of them in Australia this year. Her season stats: she's ranked number 1 in the Elite Adults division. In Speed Qualifier 1 she came first and qualified, locked in a spot for Fusion Finals. Endurance Qualifier 2 she came second, and Tech Qualifier 3 she came first, and Endurance Qualifier 5 she came 5th.
All right. So they're our 3 athletes that we're going to watch, and it'll be interesting to see the 2 girls, how they tackle these courses, because they've both got different styles. And Taylor's transitioning over to OCR as well. She's also competing in modern pentathlon events. So she's had to learn how to do fencing and laser pistols, running, swimming. So she's really focusing on a variety of different ninja type sports at the moment, with the goal of the 2032 Olympics in Brisbane as an opportunity to further those skills. So for anyone who doesn't know, obstacle racing has now been brought in as part of modern pentathlon. They removed the horse riding element and have brought obstacle racing in. So it will be featured in 2028 at the Los Angeles Olympics. And then it will also be into 2032 Olympics. So the ninja community in the background are really trying to make ninja a standalone discipline in the Olympics. But it needs to be shown in the modern pentathlon first to see what sort of I suppose results they get out of it and what the audience think. But we're all crossing our fingers that someday, hopefully 2032 is the first one, that ninja becomes a standalone sport. Whether it's short course like we're watching today, or in an OCR format, which is more of a 80 metre or 100 metre straight line, side by side, athlete against athlete type version. Whichever pathway it goes down, we've all got to get behind. At the end of the day, we just want to see this sport grow and grow, and we have to evolve as it evolves. So all of us here, we're trying to mix it up a little bit and get involved as much as we can, and by spreading our wings and getting this league out to other gyms that specialise in different stuff, like OCR school down there in the Central Coast. They're an obstacle course racing school ninja training facility, so their training's different to ours. We stopped off there and the boys got to compete, or Hato had a run in one of their comps while we were down there, and those guys are super fit, guys and girls, young and old. They run and they do obstacles in between running, so it's a bit different to what we're watching today. Not so much running, it's all done on a short space, but if you've ever watched a OCR event, it's more like a cross country with obstacles placed in the middle. And then the 100 metre version is basically like 10 obstacles over 100 metres with runs in between. So it goes from upper body to lower body, swinging, jumping, and then up the warp wall at the end. So the sport is evolving down several different pathways. And there was just an event in China and obviously in Sweden. So there's multiple leagues out there. Everyone wants their piece of the pie, which is good for the sport. But sometimes it's just confusing on which pathway you want to follow. So by trying as much as you can, you'll work out what you like and what you don't like, and that makes your training that little bit easier. So Abby's been doing this sport for a long time. We remember meeting her probably back in 2017, 2018. I can't even remember how far back it was. But she was quite little then, and smashing it as one of the only girls coming up through the sport. So we had our very first comp down at Byron Bay at Ninja Play down there with Lisa Parks, and it was interesting to see people coming from all over the East Coast to compete there as well. And then we came up and we competed at Urban Extreme, and we were hooked from the start. So if you don't know our history, we started as Mr. Ninja Climbing Frames, and we built Ninja frames for backyards, and that sort of progressed when COVID hit. Everything went up in price, steel prices went up, material prices went up, insurance went up by about 400%. So we sort of said, well, we can't make money building stuff in people's backyards. We've got this shed here that we put a lease on. What are we going to do? And we hence used everything we had here to build a big frame, and we started running classes, and we've grown ever since. Now we've outgrown this facility, and when I say outgrown, we're still training about 100 kids a week, but we can't do much more than that, and we need to get into a bigger facility. So that's our goal for 2026, is to grow the size of our gym, and being the only competitive gym in Brisbane and especially Queensland, where people can come and trial all the different events, we want to make sure that we can offer something that's a little bit more user friendly. So that's the goal for next year. Got a lot of things to put in a row there, a lot of ducks to line up, got to talk to the right people, but fingers crossed this time next year we're sitting in a bigger venue, and yeah, we can obviously have less downtime between runs, because while we're sitting here talking, they're out there changing obstacles out and removing everything before the course run. So if we had a bigger facility, obviously we just go straight from one division to the next, and that is the goal. So we were just down at Geelong Ninjas in Melbourne, and they've got a wonderful facility down there, nice and big, plenty of space to have multiple rigs set up. So they should be very proud of their facility, and that gave us some ideas coming up here. But silly thing is, rent in Brisbane is actually dearer than it is down in Victoria for a commercial property. So that's the thing that's holding us back at this point, is finding something that's within our price range and affordable, but we will tick all the boxes and get there. So we're just getting these cameras set up now, getting the batteries back on, and we'll be headed to our live stream very, very soon. I'll just put the calendar on again for next year to refresh anybody, and show you those other events interstate before we go live. All right. We are about to get our first runner on the course. Matthew Alexander, our only male competitor in elite adults. So let's see what's changed here and how he attacks these obstacles. So 4-minute time limit, multi-fails allowed, no retries, just if you fall off you move on to the next obstacle. You just drop the points on that obstacle that you fell off. Alright, here we go. Oh! Just a missed time there to the ring jump. Alright, now we go from the talons to ice picks. There's more rings involved in this now, and those ice picks are very slippery if you've never used them before. They're made from aluminium, and Corey from Brisbane Ninja Frames has put those together. Alright, take a breath, Matt. One obstacle at a time. Alright, he's figured out this one. He's got to probably move this a little bit here because the box has been pushed further back. Now these are elite adults, remember? There we go, so he's tilted it back. There we go. There we go, he's picked up his first points. I can hear the cheering. Alright, Chloe's the chalk girl. So the tramp's been brought back now. So they have to actually use the tramp to get up to that cat grab spider jump. Oh, yes! Oh! Did he go clean? We'll have to probably look at that. Nice jump. Alright, now these guys have a second transfer now. This is why it's elite. Same time limit, more obstacles. Alright. So this first half is the same. We're going trapeze bar over to the thunderclap. But the mousetrap has been upgraded. So instead of one flap on the front of the mousetrap, we now have two. And the cliffhanger in between or behind is actually narrower, so you actually need to use both hands together to flick that front flap away and then grab the cliffhanger behind. So that's going to test their timing. Alright, this obstacle hasn't changed. Oh, he made that look easy and then just lost his balance at the end. Here we go. So full lane of flying bar here. Not a half lane like the teens. Not sure if Matt's ever played on a flying bar before, but we're going to find out. Oh, he twisted the bar there, so he didn't come across evenly. Alright, switcheroo, last obstacle. So they're going to do a couple of transfers, the elite adults. The teens only had to do one. Oh, come on. So you got to pull up with one hand and get it level. No luck with that one. And he hits the buzzer. Alright. I think he might have got one or two obstacles clean there, but it is a technical course for a reason. And it is elite adults for a reason. So we'll let them just reset those obstacles. And then we'll have Taylor Height on course.
Okay, we have Taylor Height up on the course. She trains here, so this should be a good one to watch. She's going to have to put up, I don't know, Abby and her. I'd say they're very even. It will be very close. Looking very, very calm on the first obstacle. This one you have to put a lot of speed into it. If you don't jump straight away, I don't think it's extremely hard to get. Now these ones, they look pretty slippery, but she looks like she's handling them well. Going with a matching technique. Nice. Making that first one look pretty easy. Just missed on the first grab. Yes. And you've got to push it and get onto it so that it's tilting the other way, which looks like it would be very hard. Nice. Just got it there. Nice. Okay, the next obstacle, you have to jump into a spider or unhook a ring and then swing to a UFO. I think you got to go to another UFO after that as well. Oh, so close, just didn't get the height. Next one, the thunderclaps. Yeah, these ones, very difficult obstacle. I'd say it looks a lot easier than it is. She's making it look very easy. See, we haven't seen anyone get this yet. Oh, so close, just peeled off. Getting a big kick. This obstacle is a very challenging obstacle because I don't think you can see, but the bar is very tilted, and to make that distance and land on a tilted bar, then get over the box is a big challenge. Okay, she's been practicing this one, so hopefully we'll see her get this one. I think she's pretty confident with the first part. Gets up to the bar easy. Nice. Well, we're seeing her link it. Making that look very easy. A little hung up. Nice, she got it. Okay, let's see if she can get this bear trap. I don't think we've seen anyone get this today. Oh, one side in. Okay, now we have switcheroo. I don't think that anyone's gotten this one today either, so difficult obstacle. Let's see if she can be the first. Sliding it out, good. Nice. On this one, you want to grab high with your hand so that it tilts easier. I think some people, yeah. Oh, she's fighting. If she just got that hand a little bit higher. Oh yeah. That was an amazing run by Taylor Height. We'll see how she does in speed and endurance tomorrow. Next we have Abby Cutts on the course.
All right, we'll wait for the scores there, but that was a lot more challenging than we were expecting. But that's what this division is about. Anybody can take it out. And these obstacles, this is the first time a lot of these obstacles are being seen or touched. So the flying bar, yes, that's part of our gym, but the bear traps have only just gone up. And the angle you have to go to from that flying bar pad to the bear traps is a bit daunting. And I thought she had the mouse trap there, that double flat mouse trap, just peeled off at the last minute. So Abby's had the advantage of seeing Taylor attack these obstacles. And now it's her turn to figure out
the best approach for each of them. So it's always good to get more points leading into these finals, so you're running last or later in the run order, so you can at least get a few runs in before to see what people are doing. So our final runner of the afternoon is Abby Cutts for the last technical run. Run orders stay the same for tomorrow, so it doesn't matter. We'll see how Abby attacks this course. So we saw Taylor went a little bit too slow on that second balance beam and just gravity took over, because you're right up against that wall, so your body's being pushed outwards. Abby's going to try the same thing. Alright, so none of them want to run through this. This is all nice. Alright. So clear through obstacle 1. Ice picks. Now Abby loves chalk, but aluminium doesn't like chalk. So these ice picks are made of aluminium tube, and this is about grip strength, because the chalk doesn't help you in those grips. You actually want to slide off. So clear through 1 and 2. Now she's just got to figure out how to flip this pole the other way. They'll all be cursing Haydo tonight when they get home. Alright, she's rotated it around, just got to dismount to the box. Alright, so we're clear through 3 obstacles. So my co-commentator next to me here had the long arm. She just reached out for the ring, but on this division they've moved the tramp back, so it's an actual jump. So same as Taylor, she's just missed that one. Now if anyone can do these mouse traps, Abby's probably touched these in America at a couple of different gyms, so she knows how they work. But they're not all the same, and these have actually got, I think, plywood in front of them. It's not soft, so it... oh, she's made that. Made that look pretty easy, actually. Alright, so she's trying to figure out a different way to do this. Probably can't reach just from holding the ring. And the jump into that, if you're offline, it's very hard. Oh, that pole's on like a 45-degree angle, so you've got to land it perfect. Alright, 2 obstacles to go. Flying bar bungees, whatever you choose to use. You only get the points. Oh, skipping the pads. There we go. You only get the points if you can get it in that bear trap and dismount to the box. So that's the tricky part. And she's done it. Nice work. There we go. The bear traps do work. Alright. First clear of that obstacle all day. And let's see if she can figure this out. So if you've ever done an eyeglass onto hooks, kind of similar in the way you've got to hold one end to tilt the other end up. But it's not a nice handle to hold on to. There we go. So now she's got to slide down until the other side goes past a bracket that's on the pole. And now she's got to transfer another time. Alright, look out, she's using 2 hands here to get it up. If she can get it up there and then pull it quickly. Oh, she just missed it. Well done, Abby. That's probably 5 obstacles cleared there, maybe 6. We'll just have to wait for that scoreboard. So the leaderboard isn't syncing, but I'll get the leader or the scores off the board itself, and I'll read out those scores for you very soon. All right, just going to go to a live interview with Abby on course.
That was the run we were waiting for, and in fine fashion too, the last runner of the day. Almost getting that last switcheroo obstacle. Tell us, how did that feel on the hands?
It was a really nice hold, like it wasn't sharp, it was really smooth and stuff. And when I got the first one, it wasn't too bad, but then I just couldn't move it. I think I was pumped and maybe not holding it the right way.
Yeah, well, you still made it look like nothing compared to everyone else, and that bear trap obstacle looked like a piece of cake as well. Tell us, have you been training any bear traps lately? Have you got any at home or at your training facility?
No, so I actually have a bit of a rivalry with the bear trap. So I tried it once about 2 years ago at a Premier Series competition, and I failed it. Both attempts, could not get it. So I have not touched it since because it was my enemy. So I'm really happy I've beat it now.
Yeah, well, you still, again, made that look like nothing. We got speed first in the morning tomorrow, then endurance. Tell us, which course are you most looking forward to?
Definitely endurance, but speed was actually my favourite qualifier of the year, so both of them.
All right, well, congrats on the run. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so there's our interview with Abby, who's picked up 15 points there. First one to go clean through that flying bar all the way to the bear trap. And then she nailed that mouse trap catch as well. So points in that division. Maddie came away with 3 points. So we cleared one obstacle through the males. And then we had Abby picking up 15 and Taylor picking up 6. So plenty of improvement that can be had tomorrow in our speed course and our endurance course. So that pretty much brings us to the end of day one, our technical division. And then tomorrow morning we start with our speed event. Yeah, 8 a.m. start. We'll be starting with our speed. And remember, it's very quick because the 6 athletes will run back to back to back. So no rest. You really get about 10 minutes or so between your runs. And you run that speed course 3 times. And then we'll have a break for lunch, reset the course, and then the endurance test in the afternoon before we do podiums and give away a heap of medals and prizes. So thanks for tuning in. Hope we didn't bore you there, and sorry for the technical problems we had there at the start. Hoping to get that leaderboard link refresh working tonight for tomorrow's event. And we'll be back on board live from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, guys. We've got a lot of work to do. It's going to be a late night, and we'll see you all tomorrow.